All right, everyone, buckle up, because the news cycle is spinning faster than ever, and we've got the absolute must-know updates hot off the press. You need to hear what's happening right now, from potential records being broken to massive investment plays. Stick around, you won't want to miss a second of this. First up, a familiar name is on the verge of a 44-year-old record nobody wants, and the owners absolutely cannot ignore it. Then, we dive into a major investment that might be hitting a snag, putting serious pressure on the manager. After that, get ready for some massive transfer targets, as the club eyes a star player to shake things up. And finally, the fans have spoken, and their message to the owners is loud and clear after the latest setback. You're watching Hollywood, men, so make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Close to an unwanted milestone. Wrexham boss Phil Parkinson is teetering on the brink of matching an undesirable 44-year-old record, a situation that could cast a shadow of doubt over his managerial capabilities in the championship. The stakes are high as Wrexham prepares to face Sheffield Wednesday this weekend, a fixture that pits two teams, both yet to secure a single point, against each other at the racecourse ground. While the Red Dragons have shown flashes of brilliance against strong opponents like Southampton and West Brom, their defensive frailties and inconsistency in front of goal have been notable. The pressure mounts on Wrexham to secure their first points of the 2025-26 championship season, a task complicated by a looming statistic that Phil Parkinson must actively prevent. This weekend's match against Sheffield Wednesday, a club grappling with significant summer difficulties and a depleted squad, presents an opportunity for Wrexham to capitalize. However, the expectation of securing points is amplified by the potential to match a long-standing unwanted record, losing their opening 3 league games of a football league season, a streak that dates back to 1981-82. Should this happen, questions regarding Parkinson's suitability for the championship level are likely to arise. The history between these two clubs adds another layer of intrigue. This marks the first encounter since 2006, and Wrexham will undoubtedly be looking to replicate their commanding 4-1 victory from that last meeting, aiming to deepen Sheffield Wednesday's current struggles. The early stages of the championship season have proven to be a steep learning curve for Wrexham, with many of their less experienced players finding the division unforgiving. The upcoming fixture against a weakened Sheffield Wednesday side is, on paper, a more manageable challenge. Yet, this perceived ease translates into amplified pressure on manager Phil Parkinson. Unlike Wrexham, who have benefited from multi-million-pound investments from owners Reynolds and Rob Mac, Sheffield Wednesday is contending with the absence of key players, including their #1 goalkeeper, Pierce Charles. With the club's paramount goal being to avoid relegation this season, a poor home performance against a struggling Sheffield Wednesday could trigger a crucial debate about Parkinson's long-term suitability for the club. This significant match could define the early season narrative. Next, we'll break down how a major investment might be backfiring, putting the manager under intense scrutiny. Investment concerns emerge. Wrexham's prominent owners, Reynolds and Rob Mac, are facing a period of unease as a substantial £10 million investment appears to be underperforming, placing considerable pressure on manager Phil Parkinson. The club's current standing in the championship, with no wins after 2 losses and a draw, serves as a stark reality check despite a flurry of high-profile signings orchestrated by Reynolds and Mac. Phil Parkinson has been heavily backed in the summer transfer window, yet the team's on-pitch performance has not reflected the significant investment. Their most recent outing, a 2-2 draw at home against a struggling Sheffield Wednesday side, highlighted these ongoing issues. While several new acquisitions have already demonstrated their value, one particular signing, Nathan Broadhead, is lagging behind expectations. Wrexham acquired Broadhead from Ipswich Town this summer for a reported £10 million fee, a move that carried considerable promise. However, the Welsh international has yet to truly make his mark at the racecourse ground. He found himself on the bench for the clash against West Brom, only being brought into the game early due to an injury to Josh Windass. He subsequently started the following week against Sheffield Wednesday. In that match against the Owls, Broadhead struggled to impose himself on the game, being notably outshone by Kiefer Moore, who netted twice to give Wrexham a first-half lead. According to SofaScore, Broadhead failed to register a single shot during the game and lost possession an alarming 10 times, even against a depleted Sheffield Wednesday team. This performance has undoubtedly put Wrexham boss Phil Parkinson in a position where he will be looking for a significant uptick in performance from Broadhead, especially considering the substantial fee paid for his services. Fortunately for Wrexham, their next fixture is against Millwall, a team currently in good form. However, this match presents a crucial opportunity for Broadhead to redeem himself. He has a history of performing well against the South London club, having scored 2 goals and provided an assist in 2 matches against Millwall during Ipswich Town's 2023-24 season, contributing to 3-1 and 4-0 victories for the Tractor Boys. The 27-year-old possesses the talent to excel at this level, but the onus is now firmly on him to deliver and help Wrexham overcome their early season struggles. With key players under scrutiny, the club is also exploring significant new additions. Next, we look at the ambitious transfer targets being eyed to bolster the squad, including a potential £7.5 million star. Ambitious transfer plans emerge. Wrexham's ownership, led by Reynolds and Rob Mac, is reportedly plotting a significant squad upgrade, with aspirations to bring in 3 new midfielders, including a highly rated player valued at £7.5 million. The Red Dragons have experienced a challenging commencement to the current season, with manager Phil Parkinson still seeking his inaugural championship victory. Wrexham narrowly missed out on their first league win this past weekend, being held to a draw against Sheffield Wednesday despite holding a comfortable 2-0 lead at halftime. This slow start is particularly notable given the substantial financial backing provided by owners Reynolds and Rob Mac. In an effort to address the team's performance, they appear ready to invest further, with a focus on acquiring 3 midfielders, one of whom is estimated to cost around £7.5 million. According to reports from Alan Nixon on Patreon, Wrexham has submitted offers for 3 distinct midfielders. Among these, a £7.5 million bid has been made for Southampton's Will Smallbone. The Irish midfielder has been consistently excluded from Southampton's championship matchday squads this season, despite having made 18 appearances in the Premier League during the previous campaign. Nixon also indicates that Wrexham has actively pursued Jordan James from Rents, with Reynolds and Mac reportedly in discussions about potentially outbidding rival clubs like Parma and Ipswich Town. A third offer has reportedly been lodged for West Ham United's central midfielder, Andy Irving, who is considered a secondary target should negotiations for Smallbone or James prove unsuccessful. Acquiring Will Smallbone, despite the considerable transfer fee, would represent a significant coup for Wrexham. The midfielder is available following his transition to being deemed surplus to requirements under new Southampton manager, Will Still. This situation presents a prime opportunity for Wrexham to secure a proven championship-caliber talent. Sky Sports pundit Don Goodman, speaking to Football League World, shared his perspective on Smallbone, suggesting that his departure could be a considerable loss for Southampton, given his demonstrated abilities in the championship. Goodman noted, Will Smallbone played every single game in Southampton's championship promotion season a couple of seasons ago, 23-24. He contributed 7 goals and 4 assists as well from a holding midfield role, which was absolutely brilliant. I remember him scoring some really vital, important goals as well. You suppose every player has a price tag, and if somebody's willing to meet the £8 million, then clearly Will Still and Southampton would sanction that. But I think he's a player that they really could use this season. You need competition for places, and if they let him go, they would probably be a fraction light in that area. But it's down to the new head coach. Will Still obviously prefers other players to Smallbone at the moment. If you're Smallbone, you would want no doubts about regular first-team football. With potential new signings on the horizon, fan sentiment regarding the current manager is a key talking point. Next, we'll explore what Wrexham fans are saying to the owners after the latest disappointing result. Fan sentiment turns critical. Wrexham supporters are voicing their dissatisfaction directly to owners Reynolds and Rob Mac following a frustrating draw. with a clear consensus emerging regarding manager Phil Parkinson's position. Since Reynolds and Rob Mac assumed ownership, Wrexham fans have become accustomed to a culture of consistent winning. Even during their first full season under the new regime, which concluded with a National League playoff final defeat, the Dragons secured victory in the majority of their league fixtures, ultimately claiming second place. This success was followed by an impressive 3 consecutive promotions, a remarkable achievement for a club ascending through the divisions from the 5th tier. However, their transition into the championship has presented a significantly tougher challenge, with positive results proving elusive. This difficult start has led to fans expressing their concerns directly to the ownership. The recent 2-2 draw against Sheffield Wednesday, where Wrexham failed to maintain a 2-goal advantage, has intensified these sentiments. Supporters are now suggesting that Phil Parkinson's tenure at the club may be under threat. Social media platforms have become a focal point for these discussions, with fans directly addressing the owners. One widely shared tweet stated, "You need to discuss Parky's future at Vancity Reynolds at R. McElhenney Ascoxum." Another fan commented, "Parky needs less yes men at R. McElhenney at Vancity Reynolds," indicating a belief that the manager is not being adequately challenged. A third supporter opined, "I think Parkinson has 4 or 5 more games to turn this thing around before consideration of replacement next year. Also, need to change GK back to Okonkwo. This is an unacceptable outcome with what they've put into the team. At Rob McElhenney at Vancity Reynolds, y'all deserve better." The critical sentiment continued, with one fan adding, "If Parky sees out the season, I will be shocked," and another bluntly stating, "Parky not good enough for this league." A sixth supporter articulated a common viewpoint. "Parky is the problem, good at lower levels and proven not to be in the championship time and time again. His tactics do not fit this level." This period has clearly been frustrating for Wrexham, a club that has grown accustomed to weekly victories. With the team remaining winless in the league and fan confidence in the manager waning, the situation is becoming increasingly tense. However, despite the vocal fan discontent, reports suggest that Phil Parkinson is not expected to depart imminently. Transfer expert Graham Bailey shared his insights on the manager's future earlier this week, stating, "Phil Parkinson is a Wrexham legend. When he leaves the racecourse, he will be due a statue, no doubt about it. But the Parkinson era is not finished, yet am told the club as a whole are frustrated. Parkinson knows the pressure is on." Parkinson has turned the Wrexham job into one that would be the most desirable outside the Premier League. He has created the pressure himself, and I am told he is embracing it. Wrexham, as a club, are fully behind him. They are focused on staying in the championship this season. Let's get it right, that was always their target this year. As it stands, there is no talk about replacing Parkinson. If they continue to struggle, then this might be a different conversation come Christmas, but they have had a big turnover of players and are happy with the path they are on. While the manager's future is debated, the club's financial strategy is also under the microscope. Next, we'll examine how a significant investment might be backfiring, raising questions about the club's direction. That's all the buzz for today. Wrexham is facing a potential record-breaking streak. A major investment is raising eyebrows. New transfer targets are emerging, and the fans are making their voices heard loud and clear. Don't miss out on any of these developing stories, like this video. Subscribe to Hollywood Men for all the breaking news, hit that notification bell, leave a comment with your thoughts, and follow us on all social platforms so you stay in the loop.